Now, News 13, First at 5. With Lydia DeFranco and Jeff Black.
Thanks for joining us. Governor Meade vetoes a bill that would have made it harder for police and prosecutors to seize property.
These seizures occur when someone is thought to be involved in drug crimes. News 13's Cody O'Hara joins us live from the Capitol with more on this veto. Cody, what do you have for us?
Lydia and Jeff, this is the first veto so far this legislative session. Now as the governor starts to receive bills on his desk to sign into law. Now this particular bill that the governor did veto would require that a person be convicted of a drug felony before their property could be seized by the state. Under the current law, police may confiscate property, including money and cash, if they believe they are linked to a crime. Meade is a formal federal prosecutor. He says he doesn't believe that Wyoming has seen abuses of its existing forfeiture law that would justify changing it. This bill passed with a lot of support in the legislature, and it still could become law if Senate leadership decides that they want to pursue an override of this veto. Reporting here live in the state capitol, I'm Cody O'Hara, News 13. Back to you.
Two-thirds of the legislature is needed to vote for the bill to override the governor's veto. Record-breaking temperatures and a mild Wyoming winter has many of us excited this season, but the warm weather can come at a cost. The state's snowpack, layers of snow that build up, and water source for our rivers and streams come spring is low, especially compared to this time last year. Our snowpack is at 95% of what it should be, while last February it was exceeding 130%. These dry conditions mean less water in basins and the potential for flooding, but they can lead to other problems too.
We have seen with the dry winter, with the reduction in snow, we have seen several fires here the last couple of weeks, grass fires where there's wind, there's no snow cover, grass is dry, and you see some fairly fast-moving grass fires around the state.
Meteorologists from the National Weather Service say there is still hope during our wettest season, May, April, and June. Other areas around the country are also seeing low snowpack, including Colorado and Alaska.
Oil, agriculture, and tourism are Wyoming's big three economic drivers. But when one of those industries isn't stable as oil is now, there's a big impact on all Wyoming businesses. Governor Meade hopes to change that by adding a new sector to add growth well into the future. News 13's Ray Bogan reports Governor Meade says technology is the answer.
Oil can drive Wyoming's entire economy, but Governor Meade says we can't rely on oil and the state needs to balance the economy. One way to accomplish that is growing the technology sector.
So we're starting to see that diversity become a reality and having a fourth large industry sector in Wyoming, and that's technology. So I think we're making progress, but obviously we've got a ways to go.
Tech company investments by NCAR, Greenhouse Data, and most recently Microsoft have been just the start the governor wanted. But Governor Meade says growth needs to continue because, like oil and gas, technology can benefit everyone by landing federal government contracts.
The rising tide lifts all boats, and so whether or not you can directly contract with a government agency, as many of the people here can, by them being able to do it, even though you can't, it's a tide that raises your business as well.
Many Wyoming businesses already have obtained government contracts by inventing something for the military or offering their services in a new and innovative way. Senator Mike Enzi has worked closely with some of those business owners. He hopes to secure more.
What we're mostly working with are people who have some kind of a new product and a product that the government uses, and they can get it from Wyoming less expensive and better than anywhere else.
Craig Carlson has found big business in government contracts for over 10 years. He says the contracts have helped his business keep income stable, and it all started when he began looking at business in a whole new way.
Talk to some of the people that are here, network, understand that the people that are here may not be your competitors, but they're also potential team partners.
Ray Bogan, News 13, Casper.
Government contractors are currently looking for new partnerships in the Wyoming Grow Biz Conference. That's at the Best Western Ram Coda in Casper tonight until 10 and again tomorrow. And an invasive plant is being removed on the North Platte River to provide a better habitat in the long run for wildlife in the area. The Russian olive is a rapidly growing invasive weed in Wyoming that doesn't offer any benefit to surrounding animals. Since Russian olives grow along the river, their seeds are carried downstream, making it tough to control. The idea is to replace the weeds with cottonwoods and buffalo berry plants to offer better nutrition for wildlife, and it could be years before this project is complete.
We have trees getting ripped out of the ground. We're chopping them up right there on site and distributing right back into the ground, and then we'll be planting over the next few years. And so until those new plants and trees grow, it's going to be pretty bare. But once they come back, it's going to be a beautiful place for wildlife.
Millick says some wildlife are eating the Russian seeds, but it's not offering as much nutrition as they'd like.
Direct Chicago flights are coming back to Cody next summer. Yellowstone Regional Airport Manager Bob Hooper says the Chicago connection pushed enplanement numbers to a record high last year. Penny Preston has more.
There are plenty of bags coming in and out of Yellowstone Regional Airport these days, even in the slow winter months. A record number of passengers came through here last year. Airport Manager Bob Hooper credits the summer direct flights to and from Chicago.
We had over 65,000 people pass through this airport last year.
That's a lot for a town of 10,000. Hooper says the Chicago direct flights are coming back in 2015.
We're going to have that same service again this summer. It's going to be for 8 weeks. It's 1 day a week, starting in mid-June and going through mid-August.
Hooper says the flights will arrive in Cody on Saturday nights and leave for Chicago Sunday mornings. He says that's perfect timing.
We're such a strong tourist destination, and these flights are timed to make just excellent connections from all the European destinations and up and down the East Coast.
But that goes both ways. Hooper says he knows people here in Northwest Wyoming who are waiting for the Chicago flight schedule to plan their trips to Europe. They'll have to wait just a little bit longer. United hasn't put the flights into the reservation system yet, but
the flights will be loaded in the computerized reservation systems this coming weekend. And, you know, just for instance, if somebody's looking to book a trip on United, say from Cody to New York, it will offer them connections over Denver and also connections over Chicago.
The Chicago plane will be a bigger jet than those that usually ferry passengers to and from Salt Lake City and Denver. It will carry 70 people. From Cody, Penny Preston, News 13.
Hooper points out it's a good idea to book your flights early if you plan to fly into or out of Cody in the summer. That's prime tourist season in Northwest Wyoming. Many people are flocking to area churches today to celebrate the beginning of Lent. It's Ash Wednesday, which means the Easter season has begun. During this time, some people reflect on what's happened in their lives in the past year and how they can improve upon themselves. Thousands of people made time to attend services in Casper, where different churches held several services throughout the day.
We had Mass at 6:30 this morning, and then today here at noon, and then again at 5:30 this evening. I would say there's probably overall about 800 or 900 families to be here during Ash Wednesday.
Lent will be observed until Easter Sunday, which lands on the 5th of April this year. Well, let's check in now with our Chief Meteorologist Tyler Weir for a look at our weather coming up.
Well, guys, we're going to be seeing some pretty warm temperatures into the next day or so. Some more 50s are going to be possible, so that makes me happy. I hope it makes you guys happy. Here's a look at our photo of the day, sent in from Rich Simpson. Got some spring buffalo, and really the buffalo don't even mind not having too much snow on the ground this time of the year. But thanks for sending that in, Rich. So we do have some travel concerns across some parts of the state, especially up in the northeastern corner, where things are still wet, still slick in spots, especially along I-90 right now. Now, we did have a road closure on US 287, which is down to the south, just south of Laramie. As you can see, it's right about here down there. But now it's opened up, and we'll get something posted on that in just a minute. Your Sunday. Sheridan, a little bit earlier for you guys, talking about more like a Friday around noon is when the snow should be moving in for places up in the northern half of the state. Really, as far as we're concerned, just enjoy what we got for tomorrow. Some more 50s are in the forecast. A lot of sunshine for much of Wyoming. It's going to be great.
Loving it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tyler. Well, still to come, some surprising news about young children napping in today's Healthline and having some fun with your kids for the Chinese New Year. That's in today's Mom's Everyday Minute. We'll be back with a moment. Well, here's some health news for parents of young children. Researchers in Australia published studies on the impact of kids' naps. Now, they found kids over the age of 2 who napped during the day had a more difficult time falling asleep when it was time to go to bed at night. It also shortened the overall amount of nighttime sleep the child had. Now, children have different needs, though, and experts do recommend checking with your pediatrician before making any abrupt changes to your child's sleep schedule just based on this one study. Back to you, Lydia.
Thanks, Jeff. Looking for a way to learn about the Chinese New Year? Look no further than today's Mom's Everyday Minute with Pam Tauscher.
Hey.com.
Well, does your inbox drive you crazy with junk you just don't want? We'll look at some ways to clean that up and keep it that way. Then we'll tell you why New York wants $120 million from some delivery companies. That's just ahead.
You're watching KCWY, where news comes first. This is News 13, first at 5.
Email. It's the bane of our existence. We all get just too much of it, and it's just too easy to get bogged down in it.
One of the best things I did for myself going on maternity leave was turning off my email notifications. It was heavenly.
I wish I could do that.
So this is where our PC Mike Wendland can help. This week, Mike shows us a couple of helpful ways to cut through the clutter and make your inbox more efficient.
A service called SaneBox does.
Here's what's new and different tonight on News 13 at 6. Authorities are finally starting to investigate the Du Bois fire that destroyed a chunk of the historic downtown, why residents say it shouldn't have taken more than a month. Plus, legislators take up the controversial task of revising science standards in schools, and there are still some hurdles to overcome there. And our Tony Cedrone updates us on the progress of 12 neglected huskies found this weekend as they're being nursed back to health. We'll have those stories and more coming up right after NBC Nightly News.
Well, Lydia, how about that $50 loaf and jug card for today?
How about it? Go to our website and enter the word bounce, and you're eligible. So again, today's word is bounce.
Tigger's favorite word. Just throwing that out there. Our winner yesterday was Elaine Buckhalter of Casper.
Well, let's take another look at what we're expecting. Really, tomorrow is going to be even warmer. Here's a look at some lows tonight. 20s and teens are going to be possible, but still mostly sunny skies in the forecast for your Thursday. But rolling into the afternoon and into early Friday morning, that's when we're going to be starting to see this weekend snow move in, mostly over in the west and making its way here into Casper into your late Saturday afternoon and Friday afternoon and Friday night. That's when we're going to be seeing our snow here in town. Going down to the 20s next week, but just enjoy the day tomorrow. Some light winds, a little breezy here and there, but overall some more 50s, one of the warmest days of our week.
Absolutely. I'm going to have to trade in my golf clubs for skis this weekend. That's the plan. Always have a backup plan.
True. Thanks for being with us.
We'll see you right back here at 6.